सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. Okay, any questions, clarifications on what we did last time?
Swamiji, I have a question.
Shoot.
Yes, so you talked about unresolved emotions coming up during meditation, right?
Correct.
You also mentioned that many of these could be from previous janmas as well.
Very few of them
can
could
you,
be. Yeah.
Can you always discern that? Because sometimes it seems unexplicable to me. So how do I discern whether it's coming up from from this janma or a previous janma?
You can never be sure. So you deal with the emotion as it comes up.
Because you also added a caveat that if it is something of this janma, a mental health professional could handle it. But if it's something from a previous janma, someone like you is
so if you find
to be sought after. So,
see, generally, if it is at an emotional level, it can be handled by anyone because it's an emotion to be handled. Now, if there are memories coming up, unless a therapist is trained in the field of past life regression, etc., will find it difficult to handle. But if the therapist is trained in that or is awareful of that, can handle.
And since you mentioned past life regression, is it something which should be actively sought out? Or
No.
But one can just let it be.
No, don't actively seek it out. Unless you have a phobia or an issue that is you are finding it difficult to handle. Difficult means not because you are not good, tried. Okay. Because you have sought help and still finding it difficult, then maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Not otherwise.
Right.
Generally, phobias may be from a previous lifetime. If you can't find a memory that's related to your childhood, usually it is related to some childhood memory, etc. But if you can't find that, then it's a possibility that it is from a past lifetime. But don't put anything that you're feeling strongly as a past lifetime memory. That becomes escapism. Most of it is right here and now, in this lifetime. Then I also talked about how in various roles you may seek an escape from this vulnerability also. On one side you're feeling good about the role, you're feeling vulnerable. On the one side, that role gives you some sort of security and things like that. And then someone asked a question, does that happen in a teacher-student relationship? Very much. If you look at the teacher as someone older, wiser, and sometimes as a father figure or a mother figure, then this can come up strongly. But the teacher knows that what is coming up, so he can handle it. So it's okay to use the teacher. It's okay to use the teacher as a crutch for some time. It's okay. It's fine, because the teacher is aware he is being used as a crutch. You are aware you are using him as a crutch or her as a crutch. And once your leg is healed, you don't need the crutch anymore anyway.
Yeah.
Hari Omji, yeah. So that is where the whole thing comes. Yes, sometimes as a crutch it is used. Yeah. That's okay, perfectly fine. Because both are awareful of what's happening, or at least one is very awareful of what's happening in the relationship. Yeah. So this happens in many relationships also. But then in most relationships, both the people are not aware what's happening. Even if one is aware, there is some hope for the whole thing. Transference can happen. An issue that you have with someone, with a father or parent or something like that, can be transferred to a partner, to a teacher, any relationship we feel close to. Emotional transference is a thing in psychology. Every psychologist knows about it. So that has to be worked through. Transference happening is a good thing in a way, because the issue is coming up and you can work through it.
Swamiji,
Yeah.
you say these things happen when you are sitting in meditation and you feel this
And
emotions.
some memories coming up. In meditation, we took off from the problem of kashaya in meditation. I said there are three issues, no? Laya, sleep, vikshepa, disturbances. Third was kashaya. That there is something in your subconscious which will throw up in time. When the conscious mind is quietened, what is in the subconscious will come up. So as it comes up, deal with it. Yeah. It's not that every time something has to come up, okay? What will come up is an issue that you have not handled. So sometimes it may not come immediately, it may come after some time. That's also okay. Because you have pushed it nice and deep. Done a nice concreting job on top of it.
Or need not come also.
May not come. If it's not necessary to be handled, it won't come up. What will come up is necessary to be handled. What doesn't come up doesn't have to be handled anyway. See, we are not talking about completely removing things in your subconscious. Only problems has to be removed. Problem that is blocking you from understanding the truth has to be removed. Nothing else has to be removed. Like ragadveshas, those ragadveshas that are preventing you from understanding the truth is removed. No? I love music, not I, as an example. Okay. What's the problem with that? Unless the love for music is hampering your studies, only then there is an issue. No? Otherwise, what's the problem? You don't have to remove that raga. So enjoy it. Yeah. So similarly, there are other ragas which are not a problem. We don't obstruct. Yeah. As long as you do not attribute that you will become happy only when you get that, then you are fine. You can afford to have some things. My old example, someone like tea, someone like coffee, what's the big difference? In what way that is going to obstruct you from knowing the truth?
Swamiji,
Yeah?
are these the samskaras that actually are bubbling up during
Yeah.
meditation when they're coming out to the surface? Because how do we make the difference if it's an emotion or a samskara, an impression it can come up from like
See, it will come up as an emotion. It will come up as an emotion and a behavior pattern. So if it is a problem, deal with it. If it is not a problem, it's okay. Like I said, you have a samskara for music. Music gets you, nice, fine, good. Puts you, that's not a problem. Yeah.
So does it stay part of you? Because we carry this
As a
because we
personality.
carried it.
As a personality, it is
As a
part of you.
personality.
It will be there. If you want a locale for this, it will be in your karana sharira.
Thank you.
Yeah, it will be in your karana sharira. Karma is also connected to the karana sharira. So it's there, not a problem.
Is it normal for you when you're in meditation, that you feel sleepy after a certain point of time?
Sleep is natural because we are all sleep deprived in today's world.
No.
Yeah?
When you're in meditation, you feel everything has quietened out and you suddenly feel sleepy.
Yeah. Sleepiness
normal?
always comes in meditation for the simple reason that your mind is used to two conditions. Awake and thinking. Not thinking and asleep. Isn't that what you're used to? When are you not thinking, tell me? When you're asleep. So by association, when you're not thinking, you will feel sleepy. So that is a pattern one has to break, na? To be not thinking of anything in particular like that. No thought process except the japa. And at the same time, not asleep, alert and this. So that's a
I'm
part of training the mind.
that nowadays.
Yeah.
So I just thought I
Yeah, it's part of training the mind. This is natural. And the last obstacle we saw was rasaswada. Enjoying the happiness there. If you are enjoying the happiness, you are making the whole thing very, very experience oriented. I have to understand I am Ananda, not I am experiencing Ananda. It's a huge difference between the two. If you're saying I'm experiencing Ananda in meditation, you're reducing it to I'm experiencing Ananda when I listen to music. I'm experiencing Ananda when I eat good food. I'm experiencing Ananda at a party. I'm experiencing Ananda when I'm in meditation. What is the difference? It's the same thing. It's all experiential. So to move on from being merely experiential to understanding I am Ananda, that is what Nididhyasanam is about. To understand I am Ananda. And understanding I am Ananda is the important thing. Yeah. That's why if you are reducing and or if you are thinking that because you are experiencing joy in meditation, you are well on the way, you are deluding yourself. It's a very, very peculiar thing. That's why you all need to do that. Okay. You can have a theoretical background here, but after that one needs to do. Only then it will work. Yeah. I have taught enough here, classes, etc. Yeah. Now it's something you have to bring into your life. A few minutes every day. Yeah, help. Okay. Any other questions before we go ahead? Okay, all right. Then we saw that 36th verse last time, right? Did we see the 36th verse?
The 36 we have to start.
We have to start there, okay. He's just wrapping it up after having talked about all the problems of handling the mind, etc. 36th verse is just a wrap-up verse, summarizing this. He says, Asanchya tatatmana yogaha dushprapa iti me matihi vankshyatmanaha tu yatatam shakyo avaptam upayataha. Asamyatatmana. One who has not mastered his mind. This yoga, dushprapa iti me mati. Definitely is difficult to get it. To be a meditator and own up this knowledge. Remember, when he is talking about this yoga, he is not merely talking about mastering the mind. With that mastered mind, what are you knowing? And what are you owning up in your life? That is what is the focus here. Therefore, he says, if you don't have a mastered mind, you can't own up the knowledge. You have the insights, but you need to work on it to bring it into your life. That won't happen. He says, Vashya atmanaha tu yatata. Whereas the person who's a Vashya atmaha, meaning was mastered himself, oneself, for that person, he says, Shakyaha avaptum upayataha. With the right means, he is going to get it. Right means what? First, knowledge. Okay? You need to learn. Nothing in the world can replace that. Atmavare drashtavyaha. You should know the self. See the self very clearly. For that, what should I do? Shrotavyaha. Listen. Listen to a sampradaya with Acharya unfolding the truth. That is inevitable. Okay? Inevitable. Because that is where the means of knowledge is working. The pramana works in Shravana. And the pramana that gives you knowledge, any knowledge, secular or spiritual, requires a means of knowledge. The means of knowledge here is the Shastra. Therefore, listening to the Shastra's unfoldment becomes the most important thing. That's the main thing, Shravana. Then Mananam, to remove doubts. What we are doing here, last few minutes, was all Mananam, no? Because we are removing doubts. Then Nididhyasanam. Nididhyasanam, to own up the knowledge, to make it your own. If you are a fully prepared student, like Arjuna was, or like Shvetaketu, Maitri, Gargi, etc., you don't need any Nididhyasana. They knew it was fine, it was a fact of their life. Because their mind had that level of integrity, that level of preparedness. If you have that level of preparedness, fine. If you don't have that, then back it up with Nididhyasana. So the more preparatory work you have done, the less Nididhyasana you will need. If the preparatory work is weak, then you will need more of Nididhyasana. That's why when they presented Ashtanga Yoga, the 8-limbed yoga, okay, the aim of that yoga was defined as Chitta Vritti Nirodha, mastery of the mind. So there also psychological issues, etc. are mentioned, but the paradigm is different. The paradigm is a paradigm of kleshas. They call it as kleshas. That's okay. Each writer can use his own paradigms as long as the paradigm is explained. That's kleshas. All that is for preparing the mind. It is not that standing on your head or touching your toes is going to make your mind master, but that is one of the aspects of mastery. Awarefulness, etc. Learning to be comfortable in an uncomfortable pose, uncomfortable situation. All that is part of it. Cleaning out certain of your health issues, etc. All that asanas help. Pranayama. Pranayama is energy work, not just breath work. Nowadays it's been reduced to breath work. You have to move your energies. All that helps mastering the mind. Okay. Dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Dharana, increasing your focus, the ability for the mind to focus on a thing and not get disturbed, whether in a group or by yourself. Dhyanam, simple japa dhyanam, etc. comes. Then nididhyasana, samadhi practice is savikalpa samadhi, practice of meditation. So all this, so preparatory meditation to prepare your mind, to learn to focus. I can go all of the way up to Andha Samadhi or Sakshi Bhava. Vedanta is better to have Sakshi Bhava, easier than. So all this was one type of preparation. The easiest of the whole lot, Karma Yoga. Why? Because you don't have to spend time and effort separately from your life. You just have to change your attitude. Ishwararpana buddhi and prasada buddhi. Ishwararpanam with respect to the action I am doing. All these actions are offered to the Lord. One as an attitude, one as an understanding. Understanding that everything happens because of Ishvara's order. Therefore the actions stand offered. And emotionally as an act of will also. And prasada buddhi with respect to the result. Anything that happens, I welcome it. Good, the bad, the ugly. It is not what I want, but I accept it. That's it. And I can try again. Nothing to prevent you from trying again. But acceptance. So you are not reacting to the whole thing. You are being proactive, not reactive. Because you accepted it. That acceptance creates a huge thing. So that is all for preparing the mind. So once the mind is prepared and you are exposed to the knowledge, a little bit of nididhyasana here and there and you are fine. Nothing more than that. How long? How long will you do until you are fine? How can I set a time limit for it? Do you think the knowledge is a fact of your life? That means the understanding that I am limitless consciousness is as good as how now you feel, or in the beginning you feel I am the body. And that, then you can stop nididhyasana. Yeah. And people stop. It's not that they don't stop. People stop for various reasons also. Somebody gave it up because it's not happening. What do you expect it to happen? Yeah. Nothing is going to happen. Or you can be like Harihara Tirthaji, when he was asked by this lady, Swamiji, how many hours do you meditate every day? And he said, Why are you putting this disturbance called meditation into my mind? My mind is rooted in the truth all the time. Why are you trying to disturb it by saying meditate karo? For him it is that clear. Yeah. So I tell you all these stories so that you understand what it is about. Stories are not for story's sake, they are for highlighting a point. Or like Taranandagiri, who was diagnosed with depression. I told you all the story also. बुद्धि काम नहीं कर रहा था, so मस्तराम होके बैठ गया. What else do you do if your mind is not working? See, normally when you see a person whose mind is not working properly, either through dementia or Alzheimer's or any of the other issues, you find a lot of frustration and anger in that person. Very difficult to say मस्तराम होके बैठ. Be happy and sit down. Not be unhappy and sit down in depression. To be happy and sit down. That's why that Hindi expression that they use in Rishikesh is very good. Mastram Baba. Apne mast mein. Happy by himself. So that is the whole thing. After that, what? After that, you are fine. What do you do after that? After that, go have a cup of coffee or what else is to be done? So that is all that is there. The summing up of all that he has said up to now. That and the thing. Okay. Now Arjuna gets another question. Okay. This doubts prevents people from throwing themselves heart and soul into this pursuit. By heart and soul I mean being a full timer, etc. Those type of things. Many a time it is this question that Arjuna is asking. Though Arjuna didn't have the problem, he wanted to go become a sadhu. In the second chapter it came up very clearly. I want to live a life of bhiksha, etc. It's not easy to live a life of bhiksha. If you have been used to royal lifestyles, is it easy? Our lifestyle, it is not easy. People come to Rishikesh ashram now, January, Coimbatore ashram. Hey, this is nice to be in an ashram. Yeah, that's because we have made it like that. Okay? We made it a cross between an ashram and a Gurukula, an institute of learning. If you make it into a pure ashram setup, the sadhu, nobody will want to come there. Can we go somewhere else? Yeah. No early morning tea. 5 o'clock क्या चाय? उठ गो गंगा पानी पी के ध्यान करो और क्या? ब्रेकफास्ट वो क्या होता है? No breakfast. Then 11:30 is lunch. भिक्षा में वो भी दाल रोटी. That's it. शाम को चाय किसके लिए? जरूर नहीं है. Then 6:30 is dinner. Intermittent fasting happens automatically. That's it. Sanjay, not enough proteins in this meal. You have not come for proteins, you have come for moksha. That type of a lifestyle is not easy for a normal person. Forget royalty. Okay. That is not the difficulty we are talking about here in this section. Okay, let's look at the question. Arjuna vacha ayatihi shraddayopetaha yoga chalita manasaha aprapi yoga samsiddhim kagati krishna gacchati kaschinno ubhaya vibhrashtaha chinnam abrama iva nashyati apratishto hi mahabaho vimudha brahmanapati etanme samshayam krishna chetum arhasati asheshatah twadanyah samshayasyasya cheta nahi upapadyate It's reading 3 verses because the whole doubt is complete only in that 3 verses. Arjuna Vacha, Arjuna asks, Ayatihi. But Shraddhayopeta. Here is a person who had Shraddha in the Shastra. Shraddha hai, and he took to this path. Okay? घर भेर सब छोड़ गया, ऋषिकेश चले गया with lot of Shraddha. Hey, without that is not possible to do. Okay? But Ayatihi, effort was not enough. Got caught up in here and there and other things. हो जाता है, होता है. It happens to a lot of us. Too hasty a sannyasa, this happens. Okay? Ayatihi. Shraddhayopeta. Or even as a householder, you committed yourself to this learning, but lot of things come up in between. Therefore, your efforts were wanting. Okay? Ayatihi. Yoga chalisa manasaha. The mind is not yet resolved in the knowledge. You got insights, etc. Yes, but the mind could not be rooted in this knowledge. That's why you got yoga from yoga. Yoga means that rootedness. Chalitam manasaha. The mind fell from that. Fell from that means moved away from that. Not fall. Fall, etc. is a term I don't like to use. Chalitam. Slipped away from it. Couldn't get rooted in it. Aprapya yoga samsiddhim. That yoga samsiddhim, that rootedness in that knowledge, aprapya, he couldn't get it. This lifetime he couldn't get it. Ka gatihi Krishna gacchati. What will be his lot? The promised Ananda has not yet come. The comfort of other and security of the other life I have left behind. Can you see that? Yeah. Dhobi ka kutta, na ghar ka na ghat ka. Neither here nor there, na. Neither here nor there. Yoga chalita manasaha. And if you are in society, living in a family, there will be people to point at it. What is the use of you studying Vedanta? You are getting so angry.
So most of our condition is like that.
Yeah. They'll tell you, hey, you will get 101 people talking this nonsense. And you'll feel like giving them one tight whack. And I think sometimes they deserve it also. Okay. Then what happens? Kagati. And now he explains that. Why? Kaschanna ubhaya vibrashtaha. Does he not become an ubhaya brashtaha? Ubhaya brashtaha means neither here nor there. See, he had certain securities and this, he was finding joys in small things. Abhi understood the problem of existential issues, purposelessness. Abhi that thing doesn't attract him so much. Ananda, etc., that you are, that is being promised, free from sense of limitation, in harmony with the whole world, etc. Kya harmony? Only disharmony is there. I have not got that yet. I got a peep in what I can be. I got a peep into it. That's what keeps me on track. But what will happen? Ubhaya vibrashtaha. Chinna abrameva nashyati. Nice example you use. Here the mass of clouds, monsoon clouds, moving towards the Himalayas, driven by the southwest winds, going towards the Himalayas. Okay? Right? He is at the Arabian Sea now. Come to Bombay. Moving towards the Himalayas. And one little cloudlet in between there thinks, let me go faster. He leaves the main body and rushes ahead. What happens? Scattered by the breeze. He's scattered away by the breeze. Okay? Abramava, Chinna Abramava, he says. Just get scattered. That's why they say the security in numbers. Everyone wants to be part of some group or the other. Very few people can really stand alone. And sannyasa is not a monk. There's a big, huge difference between monk and sannyasi. Even though in today's world, the term is used indiscriminately for both. Sannyasi is a monk, monk is sannyasi. It's not really true. A monk has a monastery, has an order. My windows are not working enough today, the noise is coming through. Though I close the window, still is coming through. Okay. So, that thing is not enough. Monk, protected, monastery. Sannyasi, one person under the sun. Yeah. Swamiji, you belong to the Arshavidya order, no? Yeah. We are Arshavidya acharyas, okay. So you get support from the, what support? I support the ashrams. What support do I get from there? Nothing. If something goes wrong, I deal with it. What support? You are one person under the sun, that is sannyasi. Not an easy thing to stand on. Yeah, one person. But if no family, no friends to support, family is what? My students are my family. Gurukula. So one person under the sun. So like that cloud that's rushing forward, will it not be scattered? Important question, good question. Because I've seen people, lots of people I've seen, enthusiastically leaving home, etc., and coming to Rishikesh. See, when you're a young student, you're not yet studied enough. Rishikesh is not the best of places to be. Cross influences are too much. 1001 things pulling you here and there. If you have studied if you have done a course and then you're going to Rishikesh, it's a great place for your Nishtha. Okay. Anyway, I've seen these people come. They came with all the right intentions, everything. But then got lost here and there. And there is one place in Rishikesh, very famous. It is called Maya Kund. Okay, this is if you are going as the crow flies, is about 1 kilometer from our ashram. By the road is about a couple of kilometers. Nowadays, every evening Ganga Arati happens there. And there are places to stay also. Very strange place it is. With whatever intention you come there, you will do the opposite. I have seen people coming to become monks. Sannyasi is going and staying there, and other sannyasi is going, Maharaji, waha mat rahi jaiye. Don't go and stay there. It's a dangerous place. And then giving up sannyasa, getting married. Family people going and staying there, wanting to set up family, etc., separating from each other, walking out, joining some ashram or the other. Maya Kund. That's why it's called Maya Kund. It's a kund, a pond there, which is made by Maya. Sab ulta hi hota hai. So like that, so many things happen. You started well, with good intentions, didn't work out. So many things come in your way. So Arjuna's question is valid. There is nothing as problematic as a hasty sannyasa. Yeah. I've seen that in a lot of people. Not one or two. Yeah, I've been in this line for almost 50 years now. Okay. Next year, 70s. I walked out in 76, so in 86, next year, 2026 will be 50 years I've lived in this lifetime. बहुत कुछ देखा है. A lot of things I've seen. So, yeah. Can we try out Maya Kund as an experiment? Go. Nobody is preventing you. But stay at Maya Kund proper, okay? Not 300 meters, 400 meters away. Proper, within 100 meters of that Kund, you must stay. Then you will find all this happening. For all you know, you may find somebody in life also. Some Rishikesh girl you may find, and then you can be permanently in Rishikesh.
Swamiji, in my case, I think it's more likely that I'll become a sannyasi if I go there.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Then you'll get the other experiences you need in life there.
Yes.
So this can happen. I mean, the story goes like that, legend goes, because we have seen a lot of it happening there like that. So much so that people are warned when they go and stay there. To that extent it has become. What I'm trying to say is that if you are not ready, okay, then you will be scattered. If you are going to be taking it up full time. That's why we say Karma Yoga, Vishishyate, etc. Remember the 4th chapter, etc. Live the life of Karma Yoga for some time, long enough for you to have mastered your mind, then nothing can shake you. Then Ayatihi problem doesn't come up. You will be a Yatihi. Ayati means you are not a Yati. What is a Yati? Yati is the term generally used not for the Himalayan monster. And not that. Yati means Yatnashiravan. Kabhi Yati Yati bolega. People who don't understand Sanskrit may think it is that Himalayan snowman. No. Yatnashiravan Yatihi. One who is capable of putting in appropriate, adequate efforts to know the truth. Such a person is called a Yatihi. Therefore, by implication, it has also comes to mean a sannyasi. By implication. Okay? Yatna Shilavan Yatihi. Here he is talking about an Ayatihi who couldn't put in that effort. Okay. That's why many people will say, ठीक है यार, 1-2 class, 1 or 2 classes a week enough for me. Okay. Okay. Ayatihi. Okay. Chinna Brahmiva Nashyati. Apratishto Mahabhaho Vimudha Brahmanopati. He Mahabhaho, he Krishna. Apratishtaha Brahmanopati. Okay. Apratishtaha. Not being Pratishta. Pratishta is to be rooted in. Apratishtaha. Not rooted in. Therefore, Vimudha, deluded. Meaning is already deluded. That delusion continues. Falls away. Brahmanaha Patihi. From Brahma Marga, from this life of knowing Brahman, falls away. What to do? A lifetime of effort gone waste, no? Only I wish I had done more effort. I wish I had done that. I wish I had done that. It is not guilt inducing. It is pointing out a genuine issue that can exist. This is not meant to make people feel guilty. This is meant to understand that these things happen. And Krishna is a solution for it also. Okay. That says, Etan me samshayan Krishna. This doubt of mine in Krishna, chetam arhati asesha. You have to negate it completely. Why? Tvadanyaha, other than you. Samshayasya asya chetaha. The one who can destroy this doubt. Asya samshayasya chetaha. This doubt to destroy. Nahi upapadyate. I don't see anybody else. Okay. There may be other people, but I don't see. Okay. So you must take care of this doubt of mine. Valid doubt. Why valid? In Arjuna's case, even more so. I put it off. What's happening here? Okay, it's a valid doubt. In the sense, he's facing a battle now here after this. After this, he's facing a battle. Can you guarantee you will survive a battle? You may be the greatest warrior in the world, but can you guarantee you will survive a battle? You may be a rookie. First time you're seeing battle and you may survive it and come out well. That's why we soldiers say that, you know. The person we in the services will always say that. If your bullet has your name on it, it will get you. Otherwise, you are safe. If the arrow has your name on it, it will get you. Otherwise, you are safe. Just a way of saying, when we go, we all tell family people, no, don't worry, I'll be back. For your birthday, before your birthday, I'll be back. All that we say. Bolta hai. There is no guarantee. And if you are going on a mission or something like that, which can't be told to your loved ones or to anyone else, you will write a letter and leave it. The letter of goodbye. Yeah, you will write a letter and leave it so that that can be given to your family if you don't come back. Yeah, some closure they will get. But if you come back, you will destroy that letter. और क्या करेगा? Yeah, and this is you can't guarantee you'll come back. And Arjuna is facing a battle. And who's on the other side? The man who taught him everything, Drona. The greatest warrior in the world, Bhishma. Karna is arch rival. A host of Maharathis. How come this guy can't understand that he can hear a class that I'm in a class and calling him again? And now he's talking on top of it. Really, people, this is a call on WhatsApp, so it's a bit difficult to turn it off.
You have to put it in flight mode. Flight mode.
I know I'll have to put it on flight mode, then I won't get any message also. So anyway, that apart, this is a genuine question Arjuna has, because you can't guarantee you'll survive the battle. I mean, isn't death a constant companion for all of us? Before being born, you could die, na? Stillborn. In the womb, you could die. Born, you could die in childbirth. With all the technology development, a lot of children are lost in childbirth. Then, between birth and 5-year-old, a host of diseases catch you. In spite of all the vaccinations, etc. You could die. Then, going to school, school bus, etc. Haven't you seen school buses meeting accidents and children dying? You could have died. Teenager, you could have died. Young man, of course, you could have died, especially on your motorbike, etc. Middle-aged, of course, with today's stress and heart attacks and everything, you could go. Old age is expected. If you have lived up to 70, 80, etc., you have survived much more than the average Indian has survived. Okay, I think our lifespan is only 62 or something in India. So we all survived well. There's a guarantee that you will get this knowledge before you go. No guarantee. And remember, nobody who got a heart attack or who met with an accident ever thought they will get into one. Looking at his lifestyle, you may have thought, oh my God, the guy is so obese, he is eating all sorts of junk, not taking care of health, no exercise. How is his heart taking it? You may think, but he never thought, because he had thought he may have behaved differently. So death can come at any moment. Later on, he uses this to spur your motivation and to focus on your priorities. That we'll do it at that time. Right now is a fact of life. Therefore, he says, what will happen? I die before I get this knowledge completely. So there, Arjuna, Krishna is answering. Sri Bhagavan Vacha Partanaye Vahiha Namutra Vinashastasya Vidyate Nahi Kalyanakas Kascha Durgatim Tata Gacchati. He says, hey Partha, neither here nor hereafter, here in this life nor hereafter, Tasya Vinashaha na Vidyate. The destruction of all that he has put in, na vidyate, does not happen. There is no destruction to the effort that he has put in. Nahi kalyanakrit kaschad. The kalyanakrit, the one who is on the right track, all this thing. Na kaschid durgatim tat gacchati. He does never comes to a bad lot. Never comes to a bad lot? How can you say that? Haven't you seen bad things happening to good people? In fact, sometimes you think all bad things happen to good people only. It is not in that context. You have to understand Krishna's answer in a given context. Otherwise, there will be a problem. Okay. Na kaschid durgatam tata gacchati. You're talking about rains and floods before we started the class, right? So that flood I talked about, that time Rishikesh also got flooded. That time the Bund etc. was not there. The Ganga would break its banks and flood the whole place up. Once in a few years it will always happen. Whole place will get flooded up. So the flood started coming. So the government issued warnings etc. Please evacuate from the Ganges banks. So many of us left our setup there, just took some clothes etc. and shifted to a safer, a higher place like Andhra Ashram, Kailas Ashram etc. We shifted there. There is one bhakta living in Rishikesh on the map. Na kalyana krit kaschid durgatim tata gacchati. Nothing bad will happen to me. Kutia mein, a small kutia he had, stayed there. By the time the flood waters came up, the whole place is getting flooded. So he had a devotee who was a truck driver. And he had this huge monster trucks, not monster truck that is known in states, but local truck. Big huge ones, So he said, I will go and get him. So he came in the truck. Maharaj ji, chaliye, hum aapko leke jayega. Durgatim na tata gacchati. So the truck driver said, if I stay here, my truck on me, both of us will go in the Ganga. That's how Ganga is. So he went back. Water is rising. It has come into half his hut is flooded out. Kutia is flooded out. So he went on top. The Kutia is sitting on the roof. By that time the army was coming out with boats and to rescue people who were left behind, who had not shifted. This guy refused. Kachil nahi hai. Alright, fine. So, this character doesn't want to be saved, but there are others waiting to be saved. Na? Let us not waste time with this guy, save the others. We'll come back to him later. By that time it is rising up to the roof also. Ganga, remember, Ganga when she rises, it can really rise. I've seen all this, okay. True story. Then the army started having his helicopter runs. People are posted on tree tops, this, that, etc. Pick them up. So, he's seeing from the rooftop a helicopter. Durgatim na tata gacchati. He's refusing to. His Shraddha is atal hai. And in the meantime, the waters came, the house collapsed, he was carried away. After this, you have to believe me. Up to here, this is perception. Pramana is there for it, okay? After this, you have to believe. Then he went to Vaikuntha. Thrilled, hey, this is all true. I am here with Krishna. What is this? Krishna, people will not believe you. You said nothing bad will happen. See, I am happy I came here to be with you. But my concern is that nobody will believe you on earth. Because see, Durgati happened now, I died. So Krishna, you know what he said? Idiot. I sent a truck for you. I sent a boat for you. I sent Garuda also for you. मंदिर मस्जिद डूब रहा है, भगवान तो वर्दी में घूम रहा है. Bhagwan is in uniform saving people. You refused all help. What can I do there except get you here? We are not talking Durgati in that sense. Okay. You're not wrong, Durgati, in that sense. Whether you are a devotee of the Lord, whether you are a seeker of the truth, or an idiot on the road, karma phala will follow you. Okay? Good, bad, ugly, everything will follow. Just because you are a good human being doesn't mean that negative karma will not come and get you. You are a good human being now. What about 50 lifetimes back? What all you have done? This lifetime I have done things which are shaky, na? Then 50 lifetimes back, what do you think I must have been? So some karma phala will get me. No choice of that. But we think that being a good person, being a devotee, etc. means that's protection against all bad. Yeah. But bad things happen to bad people also. But there's the expected, it deserves it. What about good things happening to him? Haven't you seen good things happening to bad people? Yaar, kya mast mauj mein ho raha hai, staying. All the business he's doing, cutting people's throat, but he's making lots of money and he's happy. That also happens. So karma phala gets you. And there is no statute of limitations as far as karma and karma phala is concerned. Okay? It's not that it has to come within 2 lifetimes. There's no statute of limitations. Karma phala will get you. You started learning this and your life is cut short because there is your prarabdha. You are supposed to live only that. Yeah. Like I'll tell you a story of one of my batchmates. I want you to understand the situation. That's why all these stories. He had joined the ashram and he was studying. He was a good student. Then suddenly we were all sitting down together discussing something. When someone came and told, there's a call for you in Swamiji's room. Please go. Because there were only 2 telephones in the ashram. One was in the office, one was in Swamiji's room. So he rushed to Swamiji's room. His elder brother is on his deathbed. Please come. So he booked a ticket and he flew to Chennai. His brother had 5 kids. Youngest 3 were in school. Nobody was working yet. All of them were studying. And he says, please look after my children. I have to go now. What will this guy do? Great Bairagi. I don't care a damn. Can you say that? There are kids here in school. So he came back in tears to Swamiji and Swamiji, I don't know what to do. Swamiji said, no problems. It's a question of 10-year wait. 10 years, all of them will be out. Your responsibility is over in 10, 12 years. 12 years, one circle of Guru happens. So the next circle, I will keep teaching all my life, so what is the problem? Come. I said, okay. Then he went abroad, earned all the children taken care of, educated, this, that, etc. Eldest couple were also married and all that. So, they are willing to take care of the younger siblings whose college education, etc. is still there. Good family, fine, taken care of. By that time, the Coimbatore, first course in Coimbatore in 1990, this was 76, in 1990 was about to start. So he resigned his job, came to India to join the course, collapsed and died. Tragic or not? That's life. So how do you handle that? That is Krishna's answer. How this knowledge works through this type of situation. This type of situation, your normal logic and thing will not work. Correct? Normal logic, normal planning, etc. will not work. What will work is only what Krishna is saying. So some of it will have to be taken on trust. So what is the answer? break ke baad. Next class. Okay. Because answer I have to explain a little bit. So hold on to the question, okay? Understand the question well. Arjuna's question is not just a question like that. What will happen to me after death, etc. Not like that. In this given situation. Because I have seen this happening. Yeah, to my own batchmate it has happened. And he is not the only one. I know a lady who waited for 30 years for Swamiji to start their course in 90. And she and her mother met with an accident and died 1 week before the course started. I can give you a lot of examples. Lot of examples. Whom I know personally. Okay, not heard of from someone. I knew personally. So hold on to that. This very real problem that Arjuna is raising. And in Arjuna's case, even more real, because battle awaits here. What to do? Battle awaits. Yeah. So next class, we'll see the answer to it before we take a break for Diwali. So we'll have next class, and after that 1 week we'll break for Diwali. Okay. So 3 classes, because all comes with Dantra, Dashi, Chaturdashi, all that thing, it comes around like that. So good place to stop. Okay. Om Tat Sat.